So with online sales, you have lots of different choices to choose from. There are so many online platforms. I couldn't even begin to get into all of them. I'm going to reference the 3 platforms I use. I do online sales through Facebook Marketplace, I do online sales through eBay, and I do online sales through Poshmark. So I use 3 different online platforms for online sales. I like Poshmark. It's clothing centered. They did just recently open up the home markets on Poshmark, so you can add in bedding, bath stuff, all kinds of makeup accessories, home decor, art, all kinds of neat stuff. Poshmark is super easy to use. You just post pictures on there, short description, and the price you want. When your item sells, Poshmark takes 20% of your final sales price. I like Poshmark. They do charge, Poshmark charges 20% of your final sales cost, and that can go up depending on what you do when you adjust your, some people will make you an offer and give you like free shipping. If you, the seller, pay for shipping, then Poshmark takes slightly larger than 20%. But they take care of sales tax, and all you have to do is get on your email and print out shipping label, which is already to go with the customer's information. It's already paid for. It's 2-day shipping, so all you have to do is stick your item in a package, drop it off at the United States Postal Service, and away it goes. You don't have to pay for shipping or anything extra. You just have to print a label. That's it. It's easy. I do like Poshmark. They make things very easy, but they are a bit inexpensive. Once your transaction's done and over with, Poshmark's already collected sales tax. eBay charges 10% starting rate on all sales. You can like get upgrades and things like that, and they'll charge you more than the 10%. But starting out 10% across the board on all sales and shipping fees that you charge the customers. That's right, they take 10% of shipping also. That's a change they made from a long time ago when I started doing eBay. So eBay takes 10% across the board of all sales and shipping fees. So if you charge $5 for the customer to pay for shipping, you're going to be giving eBay 50 cents automatically of that $5 you charge the customer for shipping. So I try and build my shipping cost in to my price that I post stuff on eBay for. So to do that, you have to get familiar with how much your item weighs, and you have to get familiar with your shipping service of choice. So eBay takes a 10% across the board fee on any sales or shipping. Anything that you charge the customer, they're going to take 10% cut of automatically. And that goes up depending on if you get any special extras added onto your listing. eBay, you get your choice of shipping vendor. You get your choice on how much to charge, if any, on shipping. But remember, eBay takes 10% base of what your sales are. So when you're thinking about how much you're going to charge to sell this and ship it, remember, eBay takes a 10% cut. And last but not least, my favorite place to do online sales is Facebook Marketplace, because Facebook doesn't charge to use their services now. Facebook Marketplace is ran by robots that sometimes mess up the marketplace, and then you'll have issues and nobody to talk to about those issues. So recently I had a dry spell on the Facebook Marketplace because their algorithms were all messed up and nothing was working right. But it's since been resolved and sales are back up. Just something to keep in mind. It's not the most reliable form of online sales. So now we're going to talk about shipping services and my personal preferences. Everybody, you have to figure out what works for you. Remember when we talked about face-to-face sales and I said build your meeting times into your days? So the same is true with online sales. You have to build going to the post office or the UPS store or the FedEx store, whatever is convenient for you. You have to make sure you can build that into your week. When you're setting up your eBay ad, you can put on there your shipping time. Paid sales to shipping time can be anywhere from 1 to 3 days. That's your personal preference. I give myself 3 business days. I generally don't need 3 business days, but just in case something happens and I need that extra time, I have that extra time. It also means I don't have to go to the post office generally more than once a week if I'm really pressed for time. If I do online sales through Facebook Marketplace, I try and get to the post office the very next day because your customer is going to be a little bit more nervous. Obviously with eBay, they have eBay to protect them. They have a protector, or they have a buyer protection on eBay. Facebook online sales, you don't get that protection. Now I've built up my business. I can give them a link to my page. I can do things so that my online customers feel safer using my services, and I prefer to make online sales on Facebook because I'm not paying any extra fees. That means I'm going to be a lot faster with my shipping. I always guarantee my customer, like, if I'm talking to somebody in the morning and they want to buy something from me, I'll tell them, look, I'm going to the post office at 2 o'clock today. Did I already have plans to go to the post office at 2 o'clock? Probably not, but if I'm trying to make that sale and I'm trying to do it through my non-fee service on Facebook Marketplace, I am definitely going to be like, yes. And if I am making an online Facebook sale, I'm very clear with my customer when I will be able to get to the post office for them. And I generally try and go a lot faster than I would if I was going for like an eBay customer. So if I'm talking to somebody on the Facebook Marketplace, I'll be like, hey, if you buy this or if you want this, I'm going to the post office in a couple hours, even if I didn't already plan on going to the post office. It's just different things you can do to help your sales. So that takes me to our last topic of shipping and sales, which is the shipping part of it. You need to choose a shipping provider. You need to choose somebody that works for you. One thing to consider is distance from yourself to the shipping provider and that shipping provider's location in relationship to your life, because again, when are you going to fit this into your day? The United States Postal Service has a branch that's 1.2 miles from me. FedEx has a branch that's 0.9 miles from me, so FedEx is technically closer. However, the United States Postal Service fits into my life better because it's next to my gym and the library, other services that I use. It's close to where my friend lives, so I'm frequently in that area of town already. So for everything, I use the United States Postal Service. The rates are comparable with UPS and FedEx. They're actually better all the way up to 10 pounds. After 10 pounds, it might be more expensive to use the post office depending on where you're at. It might be better to use FedEx or UPS. That's where you need to get onto the online calculators and figure it out. The United States Postal Service does not charge any extra to ship to Hawaii or Alaska or military postal services, AFO and FPO, APO and anyway, the military services, it doesn't charge any extra to use the United States Postal Service, whereas the other services do charge extra to ship to Hawaii, Alaska, the U.S. territories, and the postal services. When you're doing your shipping calculation, you need to be very precise and careful with that. You need to remember that there is no allowances in the United States Postal Service or any of these package delivery services. They're always going to round up. So if your package is 12¼ inches in length, they're actually going to charge you for a 13-inch length package. Same with weight. You need to make sure that you use a very precise scale, and then you also need to, when you're putting in your calculations, round up. So if say you're shipping a toaster, if your toaster weighs 1.3 pounds in the package, you need to round it up to 2 pounds when you're putting it in your calculations. If you put all your information in correctly, the different package delivery services websites, you get a very good idea on how much they're going to charge you when you get to the actual location. The United States Postal Service is very nice and allows you to print labels ahead of time. You can sign up for a free business account through their website, and they keep track of a lot of information on there for you. It's very convenient and easy to use. However, you need to make sure that you're rounding up when you're doing your measurements. Otherwise, your customer will get a package and then they'll have to pay for the difference. We had to do that one time. I was not a very happy customer that day, and that seller had to give me a partial refund for $1.90 because I had to pay $1.90 to get my package from the United States Postal Service. So at least I got my package and I didn't get my partial refund, but I don't think that seller made very much money on my transaction. I paid $5 for an item with free shipping. eBay automatically gets 50 cents of that, $4, and then they paid $4.11 total for shipping to me. What's that leave them? 33 cents is what they made selling me those $5 items with free shipping. You don't make very much money selling those. You have to be very, very careful with your shipping. There is a lot of competition on eBay and a lot of competition on Facebook Marketplace. I can't tell you why certain things of mine will sell when they sell. Sometimes I'll have an item that's been on the marketplace for 6 months and I've done nothing to it to promote that item, and it will just randomly sell. So we don't feel pressured to keep lowering your prices or to be the lowest price out there, because sometimes things just don't sell.
Click here or click here. And of course, click here to subscribe.